what's going on? This is Dice Squad. I am Marshall Dice, known as Adam Campbell, and I'm live here at Origins Game Fair 2017. Well, actually, I'm not in the exhibit hall. I know I've done a lot of interviews in the exhibit hall. I thought I'd change things up. So here I am after hours, and you would think after hours people would be going to bed, calling in a night, and getting up next morning. Not at Origins Game Fair. The event goes nonstop, round the clock. This is now Origins After Dark. This is where you stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning to play games like Werewolf and this new game that I'm about to talk to. What game do you guys have, and who are you?
This is Latitude 90, the Origin, and we are Ghost Roadhouse. I'm Nick, and this is Al.
What up?
How's it going?
It's fantastic. We've got a pretty rowdy village right here. We had another one set up over there, but we've kind of combined them for right now so that we can try out some of the bigger roles. It's going really well. It's been fantastic so far.
How late each night have you been playing the Origin?
We start at 6, and we go till around 4 a.m., and we're here the whole time.
So the question on my mind is, are you tired?
Oh, yeah, but there's a whole bunch of energy drinks. We got a bunch of soda. The guys that run the room, the deception room, hook us up. They bring us cough drops for our throats because we're yelling all night. And we sleep till like noon, so it's okay. It works out all right.
So probably the Monday after, don't even call you, don't even try to even because you'll just be sleeping nonstop.
Yes.
All right, so the Origin. This is your new game, and I hear it's a mobile game, not a board or card game. It's a mobile game.
That
Still
is true.
A family kind of friendly kind of game. Tell me about it.
So it's actually a web app currently. We are launching next week on the 24th. And so the way it works is you can pull up your phone, you can use a tablet, you can use a computer, because this guy right here is a programming genius, and he's made it so you can use it on anything. And so the way it works will be one player will host the game, and then he can invite all of his friends to join him. They all jump onto the game, and then one of them will become the Origin. He is infectious, and his job is to try to spread the infection to the rest of the players using his phone or device that he's using. The rest of the players are all researchers. They're on an Antarctic research station, and they're trying to put the clues together that they get from the sciencing of different samples that they get in the game to try to logic puzzle their way to figuring out who the bad guy is before the infection spreads too far and they aren't able to put it together anymore.
What happens if they aren't able to get it, and what happens?
So the researchers only win by finding the Origin. The bad guys win if the Origin eludes them for the whole time. There is a time limit because a helicopter will show up, and then he will take the Origin outside to the real world, and then he infects the world.
Mass hysteria.
Yes. Also, he can
also
infect,
the beginning of the Planet of the Apes.
That's not a role we have yet, but we could do that. The other way that he can win is by infecting all of the other players. So if the entire group gets infected, bad guys win.
This almost sounds kind of like a movie I once watched.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, all right, never mind then. So how'd you guys come up with the idea for this game?
Well, the thing is, we were inspired by a movie, actually, and we would play Werewolf a lot, and I was a much bigger fan of it than Al was at the time. And so Al said, is there any way we can improve this game? We should think of a way to make a better Werewolf. And so we sat down and we thought, what are the biggest problems that we have? And the problems that we found were the downtime. You spend a lot of time sleeping, so you're not really playing. Also, if you get killed, you end up not being able to play the rest of the game. You have to sit out while your friends play for another hour or however long. And then the moderator also is not playing. So we just found that there was a lot of downtime in those sections. So we decided to find a way to play without a moderator, without having to sleep, and without killing people. So the infection was the first thing, I think, right? That was the very first solution, yeah. And once we had the infection as the idea to solve that, we had to figure out, how do we do that? How do we make it so I can infect someone, nobody else will know, without having a moderator to be there and be like, okay, if I tap you on the shoulder, you've been infected, wake up. And after a while, Al came up with the idea of using your phone, because everyone's got it. You can be around a campfire, pull it up. I don't know if you can see that, but he's got the base of the game, the login page set up. And once we realized we could just build this to be the moderator, it kind of took off. We decided to utilize the technology to do things that you couldn't normally do with just paper and cards.
And so, going to you, how long did it take you to develop this app
Well,
or this program, this game?
yeah. Well, we did a prototype probably 3 years ago, right? Maybe a little over 3 years ago, and it was just kind of to like see if it was feasible, like if it worked, if the game worked. And we took it to Gen Con. It was like a way bigger success than we thought it was going to be. Like, people just like kept coming up to us and saying like, "What is this game? This is like really interesting." We're like, "It's not even really a game yet. It's just like an idea."
So were people like knocking down your door at like 5 o'clock in the morning? Come on, we want to play. You're like, I want to sleep.
We know like probably most of the people in this room just because like they play every year. And so then, like, we decided there's probably something to this. We had a Kickstarter, and then it took about a year since the Kickstarter was finalized to finish the actual game, what we see today.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, with your Kickstarter, how many days did it take how many days did it take to get funded?
It was until the very last day.
Really?
I think maybe the day before. It was. I think it was the last day.
The last 24 hours.
Yeah.
And so, with the game, because you have a week until it is developed or until it's released.
Yeah.
Are you finding any bugs or anything that may minor changes that you need to
there are
work
definitely
on?
a couple of things that I want to get taken care of before we launch, and then after that, we're obviously going to keep improving, because that's kind of the beauty of like having a game like this instead of a card game. We don't have to issue like, if you buy the expansion, you get the fixed version of this card. We just push out an update and it's fixed. You know what I mean?
So are there any, if you want to are there any like future, expansions or anything like
talk about that?
major gonna like in the future? Like, you can maybe we could peel the envelope for our viewers?
So we have some ideas in the pipeline that we're working on. We have been showing the people today and all of Origins, and we'll be showing them at Gen Con 2 our finished DLC that we'll be releasing. We have a couple
of
extra
free
roles.
DLC?
No, it is not free DLC, unfortunately. But what we have right now is there is a character that cannot be infected by the Origin. He's called the Resistant. He can only be infected by other avenues. So he's protected from the main bad guy, but eventually, once the infection spreads, then he becomes vulnerable. We also have a character that we are testing called the Scanner. And the way the Scanner works is every time someone sends him one of those samples, he can scan it as he opens it and see who that player is. So typically, you would not really know if they were a good guy or if they were just a bad guy that hadn't been like leveled up and could infect you yet. And that guy may be just earning your trust by being like, here, these are all safe, keep taking them, until he gets strong enough to eventually infect you. But with him, he can now scan it and go, oh, you're a bad guy. I'm going to stop accepting them, everyone, he's bad, and move on to someone else. Some of the other ones that we have some pretty exciting ideas for new infected players. And I don't want to give away too much, but some of them we are definitely looking to incorporate what you can do with a phone that you could not do with cards in a very, very interesting way. And I think that's all I can probably say right now.
All right. So one other question I have for you, because at Origins, I've been attending Origins now for the past 6 years, and I have very rarely seen any type of mobile game or any type of board kind of social game playing with a phone. Do you believe that this is the future for board and card games or for Origins After Dark?
I think so. You see a couple other games like XCOM, the board game, using mobile apps. You see that Werewolf itself has started using them for like their One Night Werewolf and other games like that. So I definitely think that more games will be incorporating it. But I think that it's important to remember that the game needs to be played out here with your friends and not just right here with the phone. And that's a sweet spot that is hard to pin down.
Your thoughts, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a question that comes up a lot. A lot of people are like, well, is it really a board game then? And to me, like, we started with the idea of a party game. Like, we didn't set out to make a mobile game, like a Clash of Clans or something like that. We said we want to engage people. We want to have conversations with people. We want to have our friends come over and play a game. And that's typically what a board game serves. So it's definitely been a struggle to like get people to be open-minded about that when to me it serves the same purpose. It's just hanging out with your friends and having fun and like in a real life situation.
To add to that, we never even considered the possibility of playing like remotely. We had always intended to get your friends around a campfire and pull it out when you're bored or when you're at a party. One of our Kickstarter backers, though, as soon as he saw the game, he thought this would be perfect for playing remotely, playing with people in other countries. So he actually made a Discord server, and he set it up himself. He told us afterwards, he's like, hey, by the way, I did this. Are you okay with that? And we were like, oh, absolutely. That's amazing. So we've jumped on. We've played a few games with people. We've got like 100.
We broke 150.
Yeah, 150 we broke. So
wow,
it's taking off.
Like a month.
Yeah.
It hasn't been.
Yeah, it's only been up for about a month. So yeah, the prospect of it being a purely digital, purely mobile game is a real possibility, but it's not one that we aimed at or targeted. But I mean, we're happy that we can provide a way for people to play games with like loved ones and family that are far away. I mean, I still prefer to sit around a campfire with people, but I'm glad that we can do that.
So people can find this on the Android and mobile store?
No, it is not a native app on phones. It is a web app.
Okay.
So what you can do is go to l90theorigin.com, and it'll just pop up right away with host or join. If you click host, you can buy the game. And the way that the way that we are selling the game is if one person buys the ability to host, so if I buy that, it's $10, I can give a key to all of my friends. They can all join my game for free and play with everything that I have. If one of them also has the game and they've downloaded like DLC, all of that can be accessible to anybody playing the game for free.
Very cool. And once again, what is that website so people can go check it out when it drops next week?
The letter L, 90theorigin.com.
And we'll also have a link below for you to check that out. Once again, gentlemen, thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate it. And I look forward to playing the Origin with my friends and fellow Dice Squad members.
Thank you so much for giving us the chance to talk to you guys. This is fantastic. Thank you.
Absolutely. But continuing our coverage here, Origins Game Fair 2017, even after dark. This is Marshall Dice, also known as Adam Campbell, saying stay tuned.